Welcome to BitBoyX. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what is happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. We're going to also be talking about Chainlink a little bit. So if you're into Chainlink, you should like that. CRO as well. We're going to talk about Bitcoin standing still, what that means for you, and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get started with CoinGecko. And I see everybody saying, welcome back. You missed me. I appreciate that. The way I'm having to run the show right now, it's hard to get at the comments. So I see a lot of them. I go back and look, but I'm not seeing them as quick as I was. I also need glasses. It's a very sad state of affairs. No offense to anyone that has glasses. But let's go ahead and get this. Where is this at? Why it's not on? Oh, I know. Here we go. Is this one? No. Is it this one? This one? Nope. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's check out the market right now. We've got 18,429 coins. I feel like I have more than that in wallets where they're worthless. I know CoinMarketCap shows millions of coins, which it really is, but CoinGecko looks at 18,429 of them. Exchange is 1353, market cap $3.962 trillion, just under $4 trillion. The 24-hour volume 144, which, by the way, I think I said my guess was we would see it at 6 to 7 at some point. So, you know, being down 4, it was probably up to 4.5 maybe when Bitcoin was really running a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. Hard to keep up. But Bitcoin dominance coming in at 56.2% and Ethereum at 14.1%, which is kind of a baseline standard number for Ethereum to have is 14%. You would expect it to be much higher than that, actually. This could be a number that you would look at and think maybe there's got some more room to grow. I mean, Ethereum has been up to as high as, in the last bull run, 21% of Bitcoin. So the number's still down at 14, and at least it's not under 10. It was under 10 for a while. Really crazy. So here, okay, let's go back here. So we got Bitcoin coming in at $111,797. I'm going to refresh that to make sure I've got the latest number. Yeah, pretty much. $11,756. And I noticed something kind of interesting as I was looking at the charts this morning or looking at CoinGecko is just pan out and look at the bigger picture, okay? Last hour, it's down a little bit. Last 24 hours, up almost 2%. It was up at 2% at some point. But our last week is down 1%. And then 30 days, 5.56%. When you look at Ethereum, which is down slightly in the last hour, but 2.4, 12%, 20.7%. And what I started noticing is the ones that have a lot of green, Tether, the BNB, and you can look and see that even though it's up, it's also barely up for the last 30 days, but it is up over the last week, or 4.8%. Solana, same thing. You know, it's trending up, still trending down. If you're just looking at these 4 numbers, and then I started looking at some that fit that same blueprint, and I was like, oh, look at this one. Oh, it's just wrapped ETH. I was like, okay, look at this one. It's just wrapped Beacon ETH. We got Hype, which is a project we're going to take a look at some point. Numbers are good on it. It's been another one that has performed well. And when you get another one, good numbers, wrapped ETH again. So a lot of this stuff is just wrapped coins, CRO with a significant breakout all the way around. We go and we look at the last 30 days, how they're performing. Got OKCoin or OKB coin. I don't know what the B is for, but I digress. You got Chrono, CRO going on right under that. You have Mantle has done okay, and then you have Chainlink, which we're going to take a look at. So those are for the last month, but we really want to see the last 24 hours, what's been popping. Chronos, Jupiter, Stake, Sol, Solana. That makes sense. These numbers should be very similar because this is the wrap version of this, or Stake version, excuse me. Then you got Binance, Stake, Sol, Jito, Stake, Sol. All of this stuff is just based on the fact that Solana has pumped pretty good in the last week. Also, Hyperliquid showing up again. So pretty crazy. All right, let's go back to this. Last 24 hours. Let's look at the last 7 days. I'm sorry, excuse me. CRO, OKB, then another staked version of Hyperliquid, which is interesting. And you see just Solana has dominated the rankings over the last 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days. It's been the one that's appeared the most, and Hyperliquid. So definitely want to continue to give those a look. Hyperliquid, I saw it, I had some hopes for it, and then I was talked out of liking it, and I'm really kicking myself, wishing I just would have taken my own judgment there. But I digress. So let's move on. We're going to look at the news here. We're not going to spend too much time on the news, or as much as we used to. Bitcoin traders upside as Bitcoin holds above 110K, and that's kind of the message of this live stream here. The message of this live stream is that Bitcoin is sitting still right now. It's not really going up or down. Sure, it's been up to 124,000 like last week, and now it's down to wherever it's down to. But we're going to look at the levels for that. But I'm not the only person who sees it. Traders eye upside as Bitcoin holds above 110K. 110K, psychological level. There's not much between 110 and 108. And we probably lose that, secret $108,000 level, which I've been talking about, which we're going to look at here in a little bit. There's a cow. It picked one with some really small horns. Yeah, it's a baby cow. Whoa. Okay. All right. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. As August closes towards a down, draws toward a down close, Bitcoin bulls may welcome the end of a modest pullback, which I think is probably true, with the largest crypto down 4% for the month and 12% off its all-time high. Right now, it's little change around 110,000, while Ether has added 3.4%. So the CoinDesk 20 measure of the broader market was 2.7 in the same range, which Ethereum has been outperforming everything lately. Let's see. This is important. I thought there's a gap, a CME gap at 113.5 to 117.2. That implies heavily that we're going to come back up and touch those levels, which is important. But Mantle rolled out their upgrade, that was announced. That's why they were moving. We saw Mantle move on the top place of the month or the week, whichever one it was. So just looking to see if there's anything else here I really want to cover. Nope. So what's going to determine everything? Well, some people are saying that Nvidia actually could decide the market direction. David Morrison laid a sharp snapshot of the global financial landscape midweek. With Asia wobbling, Europe treading water, and Wall Street holding its breath. Nikon soars while India faces tariffs. We don't need that. Across the Pacific, U.S. stock index futures are a little changing Wednesday trading. Morrison stressed that investors are firmly focused on Nvidia's upcoming quarterly results. So basically, that could be a huge thing. If we see these results and it's on the way back up, then we can expect some bullish stuff. However, if not, it could go the other way. It says the upcoming Nvidia earnings could either propel a chip maker to fresh highs or trigger a steep reversal if the results disappoint. Now, the whole thing to look at here is Bitcoin going to hold these levels? And we're wanting it to hold and to bounce up. So far, consistently has shown us that it's doing that. We just got to figure out, what is the bigger picture here? So here's another article kind of saying the same thing. ETH leads, Bitcoin is steady. Link has $27 on September Fed rate cut. Optimism. This is big, guys, because Link is still not even close to its all-time high, and people are really celebrating over it. And that's interesting to me. We're going to look at why there might be a reason for some good optimism on Link here in just a second. But they're telling you the same thing. Bitcoin is steady. When Bitcoin is steady, Ethereum starts moving. When Ethereum gets steady and Bitcoin is steady, a lot of the altcoins are going to propel upwards. But we don't know for sure if that's going to happen. Kids suffer under Putin. There it is. Let's see. Social media chatter is surging. BitBoy came back to live stream. That's important. Link also impressed, hitting 2711, a year-to-date high. Well, if you go and you look back here at Chainlink, look, I'm not, sorry, had to go on. I'm not trying to down Chainlink in any way, but when you go here and you look at the all-time chart, I mean, come on, guys. I don't think you could really draw a straight line. Let me draw lines here. Draw lines from here to here. It would probably hit. I don't know. Maybe it would come back exactly here, but somewhere on these two candles, it would probably hit. So you can make an argument it's on a strong downtrend. You could make that argument. Almost messed things up there. So, but we look a little closer at it, and you see it hit 29 just not that long ago. It looks like this January. So that's when Trump was buying a lot of Chainlink. So look, here's the thing with Chainlink. They're going to pump at some point because the first US spot Chainlink ETF could turn Link into next institutional obsession. By wrapping Chainlink into an ETF, BitWise now aims to connect decentralized infrastructure and regulated markets, offering new new avenues for investors. So you have the guy looking, there it is, Indiana Jones, I guess. BitWise has applied to launch a spot Chainlink ETF. Now, here's the thing. This seems like just a no-brainer for me that Chainlink would get an ETF at this point. And I don't think it's the only one. I think we can also look at CRO to see CRO could easily, now with all of its ties to the Trump campaign or Trump presidency and here in America, I think you could definitely expect to see a Chainlink ETF at some point. So that's really, really, really good news. So there you go. That's for you, Chainlink folks.
Sorry, I don't understand.
That's okay. It's okay you don't understand. Thank you. Be careful when Siri comes on by herself. Okay, so Ethereum rallied to an all-time high. What did I want to talk about here? Where's the title? Let me refresh this. Get rid of some of these. Let's see. Ethereum rallied to a new all-time high of 49.55, then retraced to 463 at press time. The altcoin experienced intense speculative capital, positioning it for a significant move to the upside or downside. And as I was showing you guys, the charts on ETH, or we were looking at ETH yesterday and all kinds of things. I think it's very scary right now for Ethereum. If it does not get a big move up and it is back down at 42 or 43 or 41 or 38 or something, when Bitcoin has its next run, if it happens, then that could put a lot of pressure on it. So if we go and look at Ethereum, we're going to look at Ethereum in just a minute. Actually, we're not going to do it right now. We're going to look at a couple other stories. One which, sorry, I'm in computer problems here. One is the Google blockchain. Are you guys excited for the Google blockchain? I mean, I don't know. Should we be excited about it? Google advances its layer 1 blockchain. Here's what we know so far. Rich Widman, head of Web3 at Google, outlined on Tuesday how its firm's incoming layer 1 blockchain differs from Stripe and Circle. And they put a little, come on, I need to forget my life. Okay. You can see here, Tempo is the name of the Stripe one. Arc is Circle's Universal Ledger, or Gcool is it. And it shows exactly, what the difference is. Planet scale blockchain. Wow, that's scary. That's scary. Google developed. Where's it at? They're on their private testnet right now. The other two haven't even started. So not only is it, gonna release publicly at some point, it's already further along than both of these other projects. And I didn't even know that Google was working on this. This was news to me. Maybe you guys know. Maybe I missed a story, but I didn't even know that was happening. So very, very big stuff. I expect probably Amazon to do the same. I watch for Amazon at the same time. I don't think you'll see Apple do it. I don't think Apple will do their own blockchain. They just kind of stick in their lane with exactly what they're good at. And when they get outside of that lane, it kind of sucks for people. So that's when their quality, well, everybody knows when Steve Jobs died, Apple change for the worse for sure. Let's see here. Anyways, long and short of it is look for institutional first positioning. Here's more of it. CME Group joined, jointly announced it. So CME Group is going to be in charge of it. That was in March. So I guess I did miss it maybe, but here we go. As a president of the administration, I encourage Congress to create landmark legislation for common sense structure. We're now pleased to partner with Google Cloud. That was from CME. So anyways. Also, guys, Unified Crypto Lobbyists protect software developer Senate, or we're out. Lobbyists and firms such as Coinbase, Kraken, and Ripple told key sets. It's funny to see Ripple there in the now in the it's officially not a security list. Told key senators the sector can't support a market structure bill without software developer protection. XRP, I think, also a no-brainer for ETF at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do believe that. So anyways, they're out there doing their thing. Let's look at the charts. But remember, guys, if you want to try BYDFI or Femex, I've got a link very top of the description. You can go there, and with BYDFI, it really is just as easy as just sign up, put money in, and start trading. They don't do KYC. You don't need a VPN, I don't believe. Very easy to start. So whether or not you have thought about doing it or not, I would suggest signing up and at least having an account. So be careful with leverage, of course. Always make sure you're using proper risk management. Outside of that, I ain't your mama. Do what you want. Okay. All right. So let's go to, let's look at this chart here. Let's see here. This is a different, what is this Bitcoin? And yeah, this is one I drew. Okay. Okay. So I have conveniently made all these levels why would it only let me show like 3 months? Oh, I didn't. Okay. I want to go back to when we hit this thing last. Okay. So you can look and you can find these levels and see where they're at. Why is it? I'm sorry, guys. I'm really confused at why this is happening like this. But the point is I have drawn you guys. I'm going to turn my BPR off. Okay. That shows the point of control, which is important to look at, but I'm looking at wider time frames. Basically, I've drawn a line at 88,000, 98,000, 108,000, 118,000, and then above will be 128,000 if we can hit that. And what you will see is that there is a lot of support at this level on both sides. You look at the amount of times, the touch points, touch point. That's kind of in the range. Come back up for a touch point. And if you kind of think of law of averages, you look at these where it goes up a little bit and down a little bit, and you can see that basically a sideways action. So in my mind, right now, what we're seeing is very interesting. Is that really all it will let me do? This is not right down here, is it? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. So what are we looking at now? I go to perfect. Okay, I drew another chart here. This is Bart Simpson. The point is, this is a really good picture of what we're talking about when we talk about these Bart patterns. It wasn't a perfect one, but it was pretty close. You saw the pump from Jerome Powell, and then a steady downswing, boop, and straight back down. We call those a Bart pattern here in crypto. I guess they may do it in the stock world too. I'm not sure what they call anything there. But what we're trying to look for is like, where is that support really? Like right now, you had support at this level, had support here, and it's kind of playing around and bouncing off of that. but it has also been down under that support. So what we've got to do is, as we look at like about a month or so, and then we'll pull our volume profile back up. And we see that over the last month, the point of control is above. It's funny enough, I think that's exactly where that CME gap is. It's from 13 to 117, I think it said, which makes sense. But that's where the point of control is. And you can look and see the different selling and buying levels here. Most of the time, they're pretty even. But, if it wasn't even, then you'd have a big breakout or a breakdown if you want to look at it like that. So let's see. I thought I had ETH pulled up too. Maybe I just had it over here. Yeah. Looking at ETH, you see the same bar pattern. That looks more like what I'd call a Wolverine pattern, I would say. But the question is, what are we looking at? These are all on the hourly charts. So where is Bitcoin going to go? Where is Ethereum going to go? We can look and we can pretend we know, but do we actually know? I don't know. Okay, so you can see that previously when it got maybe an inverse bar and then an inverse bar, kind of, not exactly. You can see it went straight down, but we've got that surge up from the Jerome Powell stuff, and we got all the way up to almost $5,000, right at $5,000. I say $5,000, it might as well be. And then it got rejected pretty hard off of that. So what we're looking to see is once it gets up and challenges again, is it going to get shoved down, heavily, or is it just barely going to go down? So that's what I would be looking at right now. Because I think, let's go back and look at Bitcoin. We'll look at one that doesn't have any drawings on it here. And just try to figure out what in the world is going on with this. Is the bull run over? And I think there are very, very legitimate questions to ask there. With this CME gap, let's go look at that CME gap actually. Actually, I don't even think I can remember what chart it is. CME chart. Guys, I can't remember. Let me look it up. Bitcoin. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I really lost my mind. BTC 1. I thought it was 1 BTC. It was BTC 1. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is on the daily chart. Okay. Why is this just not on regular candles? This is a bad one to pull up. I don't even understand what I'm looking at here. It's a Bitwise Core ETF. No, I want this one. There we go. There we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it has been said that there is a large CME gap. We want regular candles. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Is it talking about right here? Huh. I read an article about it, but I don't see it. Do you guys see it? That gap has been filled. This gap has been filled. This is not a gap. Are we on the daily chart? Well, I don't know this. I don't see an actual gap here. above, probably some below. Basically, the point is they're not open 7 days a week, so sometimes you get a time when Bitcoin really moves while it's down, and you get these big gaps that are created, and they have to fill them. But I don't see anywhere where it. Very, very interested in that. Did y'all see the story I read on it? I moved all my tabs down, so I'm not sure. But regardless, CME is Bitcoin futures, and CME trying to get involved with Google as well is very interesting. So, well, there you have it, guys. Don't forget to sign up for BYDFI, excuse me, BYDFI. Some people call it BitYard. I guess it was a rebrand of BitYard. So you guys sign up. It's real easy. All you gotta do is sign up. You don't need a VPN. Start trading there. We're gonna do some trading on that channel, on this channel with that at some point in the future. And that's all I got. So be blessed. Good boy out. That didn't work.